Well, the Twins, I said on Care 11 the other night, is nothing like having the last place team in the division come so you could just whoop up on them real good. Twins swept the Royals. That's what they should have done. Game over 500 now, and it's this division is just not. It's not it. It's not it. If they were in any other division, I was looking at when they were playing the Red Sox a few weeks back, and the Red Sox were like 6, 7 games over 500, and they were down like 12 games. They were the last place team in the East, and the Twins somehow just, you got the Royce Lewis thing now. That is a really tough break for them. Royce comes back. It's not the knees this time. He's got this oblique strain right now, and now he's going to miss some time. Gives a chance for Jose Miranda not to throw away his shot, and we'll see what he does moving forward. But you like that one? I use
I like
that on
that
TV.
one. Hamilton.
Yeah. And so I wonder. You got the momentum of Sonny making the All-Star. So you guys, I thought you guys said that Yohan Duran was going to be an All-Star. What happened? The Twins only have one
I don't
All-Star.
understand it. I don't understand it at all. I mean, I don't know if because sometimes in baseball, the teams will have to get their best starter in. So a lot of the bullpen in the All-Star game is just made up of good starters.
Yeah.
So maybe they just ran out of spots because they had to represent every team. But it's asinine. Asinine is what it is.
Yeah, so Sonny's been pretty good this season. We're coming off of a Pablo Lopez 100-pitch performance on a complete game shutout, which was the first in his career. And every time he went back out there, I was just like, oh, look at Rocco on the edge. I was just waiting on like him getting rid of a pitch and getting like smacked for Rocco to be like, all right, that's enough. You come on out. But he let him go, got the complete game shutout. So I shudder to see what they do to carry this momentum forward into this last series of the first half.
Yeah, and the schedule after the All-Star break, Reggie, is pretty favorable. If they can win this Baltimore series, go into the break 3 games over 500 with a lead in the Central, they've got Oakland for 3 games. Oakland is the worst team in baseball. Although the Royals are coming for them. The Royals are sinking quickly. Seattle, they play 7 times in July. Seattle is exactly at 500. White Sox are 15 below 500. And then the Royals are vying with the Athletics for the worst team in baseball. So that is a very favorable July schedule. Every team you play has a worse record than you, in some cases a much worse record than you. I've been very pessimistic about this Twins team all season, but if you can do what you're supposed to do in July, win 4 or 5 series in a row, get double digits over 500, and just use your pitching to win games 4-2 if you have to, the Twins could actually put themselves in a very favorable spot going up to the trade deadline where they'll have to make a big decision. I've been saying don't buy. Don't give up your assets to try to bolster this team. Just roll with what you have. But they could change my mind if they rattle off some wins here the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, here's some crazy Twins pitching stats on Twitter from Aaron Gleeman. I shared these on the Rankum Show with Sam yesterday. Number 1 ERA in the league. Number 1 strikeout rate. Number 1 OBP against. Number 1 slugging percentage against. Number 1 in innings per start. And number 1 most quality starts in the entire MLB. Those are deep playoff type of numbers. If not, dare I even say, World Series type of rotation you're getting right now. I think it all just comes down to the same 2 things we constantly bring up on this show: the hitting and the coaching. And the hitting really comes down to the fact, I think, when you got 3 or 4 veteran bats like Buxton, Correa, Polanco, Max Kepler, Joey Gallo, and when those guys aren't doing their job and carrying the lineup or close to what you need them to be, then all of a sudden you're putting a lot of pressure on all these young kids like the Alex Kirilloffs, Farmer, Miranda, Julian, etc. every night. And those are guys that just by nature, they're just going to have a lot more inconsistencies. They're going to take a little bit longer to develop. So it's not really fair to expect those guys to bail you out on a nightly basis. Reggie mentioned Royce Lewis, the only guy who's really stepped up. Of course, now he's going to be out 6 weeks. And as far as the coaching goes, I'm looking at Rocco, and his inabilities to win some of these close games. They don't steal bases. He doesn't bunt guys and sacrifice guys over. And when your bats aren't working and your pitching is carrying you, guess what? You're going to be in a lot of one-run games. They're 12-15 now, but they started the season like 4-10. So it's still a concern for me. Something needs to change there for me and my money. And if the pitching keeps this up, it'd just be a real shame to watch this team continue to go 500 in the second half because guys like Buxton and Correa just aren't keeping their side of the street clean and doing what you paid them to do. So it's one thing, Sam, to win this division just because the rest of the division is so weak. It's another to waste such a good pitching season by this rotation and maybe go deep in the playoffs.
Well, here's where I go. Jay-Z, one take, 1 minute. It doesn't matter right now because we're talking about the Baltimore Orioles, who are second in the AL East, 51-36. They have a better record than the Twins. If they lose these next 3 games, and the Cleveland Guardians, they play a terrible team in the Royals. So if they can win their next 3 and the Twins lose their next 3, they don't have the league on an all-star break. And then we don't feel as nice and cuddly as we do right now. And we're not praising all these stats. Stats, they matter. But they only matter if the coach is helping them out. Now, again, I know there was this talk, and everybody talked about that. Reggie brought that up as well. Maybe the talk is going to help, and they're going to go out and just smash the Baltimore Orioles. But if they lose 3 to the Baltimore Orioles or lose 2 out of 3, and the Guardians find a way to win 3, they're in trouble. They're in trouble because now doubt's going to creep back in. We're number 2 in the division. We got to play harder. Or maybe that's a kick in the butt. But going into the All-Star break, I think their key is they have to win 2 out of 3. They have to beat the Orioles 2 out of 3 times. Starts off today, ends on Sunday before the All-Star game on the 11th, but they have to do it. That's the only way. I just feel like sports is always about momentum. You look at the Lakers, how they started to climb, and look how they ended up. You look at the Timberwolves and how they started to decline and where they ended up. It to me, you just have to figure out what you're going to do. But we got to move on, fellas. We got to move on to another topic. The Twins, we'll see. These next 3 games between them and the Cleveland Guardians are going to be fun to watch, and then we'll be back on the Roundtable next week, and we'll see what happened. I will also be in Iowa, so maybe I'll be able to bet on the Twins losing, the lead. I don't know if there'll be a prop bet for me to bet on FanDuel because I'll be in Iowa.
You spend more time in Iowa than Iowans.
I know. They don't want to be there, so I figure it's it's some softball, so I get to go there. But yeah, I get to place a little bet on FanDuel. Last time I was there, we know what happened. My Denver Nuggets beat the Lakers by 6. I took the 5.5. So I gotta find some props. I saw some good props. I'm not gonna lie on FanDuel. I saw some good ones where it's like first home run. These 4 guys will hit a home run. So I was looking at Twitter too, trying to get some takes. People were like, hey, if Ohtani's in that, you always bet on Ohtani to hit a home run in a parlay. So, but it'd be just my luck he doesn't hit one. Everybody else will hit one, and then Shohei Ohtani will just like bunt their whole game or something because he's trying to do something special. And yeah, who knows?